Hi friends, so we are back again with a new chapter and still we are dealing with India. And in the first chapter we learned about India, its location, the size and our neighboring countries and so on. So in this lesson, lesson number 2, we shall study about the physical features of India. Physical means body. So the bodily features means speciality. The speciality, the bodily speciality of our India. What do you understand by bodily features or physical features? The shape of the body, the beauty of the body, all that is physical features. So we know if you look at the earth or look at our own area, the land where we are staying, it is all not same everywhere. Some places there's a beautiful landslide or cascade, the landscape, and some places there is a deep valley, some places there is beautiful waterfall, some places it is a desert, dry area, some places it is very high mountain. So throughout the earth, the features are not same. There is variety. So that is what we are going to study. What are the physical features of India? About the mountains, about the valleys, about the plain, about the desert, about the islands. So all these things are there in our country. And so we shall deal with them in a little deeper way so that we can learn more things. We can learn more about our India. Otherwise we will be living in a small geographical area and we will know nothing about what is about the other parts of India. We will be knowing only about our part, the small area where we are living. So our India is a vast country and it is the 7th largest country in the world, and therefore throughout India the features, the land features are not same. Let us see about what are the features that are there existing in different parts of India. So you can take lesson number 2, page number 7, page number 7, physical features of India. So we already learned in the last chapter that India has got a lot of physical features with the varied land forms. So the land has got different forms in different parts of India. As I said, some area it is hilly, some places it is valley, some places it is plain, some places it is desert, and some places it is we can say islands like Lakshadweep Island, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Daman and Diu, and so on. Then if you live in the plains, so you can just ask yourself or you can just observe the area where you are staying. So what is the terrain of your place? Is it a hilly place or is it a plain place or is it a dry place and so on. So if you are living in the plains, then you are familiar with the stretches of plain land. So if you are living in a plain land, then you will realize, you will know the plain land is such a long stretch. Especially in Ziro, we will find a lot of plain area which is converted into paddy fields. So it is now, if you look at, you can find the long greenery seen such a long distance. The paddies are fully green. So those who are living in a plain area will experience that. And people who are living in the hills, in the hilly region, what will you experience? You will experience a rugged terrains. Rugged means unequal, uneven. It will be up and down. Small hills will be there, and there will be lot of mountains, lot of valleys. That will be the experience of the people who are living in the hills. Then In fact, our country has got all these major physical features that we already said. We have hills are there, valleys are there, plains are there, deserts are there, plateaus are there, islands are there. So all these things are there in our country. So our country has got a variety of physical features. Then you might be wondering, so when you hear that India has got all these variety of physical features, you may be wondering how all these have been formed. So you may be wondering why Earth has got all these different features, how these mountains are formed, how these valleys are formed, or how these plains are formed. So you will have a lot of doubts in your mind. So you'll be able to clarify all these doubts during this lesson. Then we will learn more about the major physical features of India and how they have been formed. So we are going to study about the major physical regions of India, physical features of India, and also to find out how they have been formed. Then if you look around again, we will find there are different types of rocks are there. Some rocks are so hard, you have to hammer so many times to break. And some rocks are so soft, just one hammer enough, it will simply break fast. So these marbles, I hope you might have seen marbles, tiles and so, that is so hard. So the Taj Mahal also is made with such kind of marbles. So these marbles are made from hard rock, very hard rock. That's why they remain firm. Unless we drop, since it is cut into small pieces, if you drop and so, it will break. But if you meet the original stone, marble stone, it is not going to break that easily. So there are hard rocks are there which is used for making marbles, and there are also small or very soft rocks are there which are also used for making perfumes and so on. Sorry, not perfume but talcum powder, the face powder that we use. So those are using face powder, and so remember it is a soft rock that you are putting on your face or applying on your body. So they will add a lot of ingredients there, a lot of perfumes will be added there, a lot of other ingredients will be there, so that it will be providing some kind of scent, beautiful smell will be there. But ultimately it is coming from where? It is coming from the rock, soft rock. So it is, just to set the example of two rocks, some rocks are so hard and it is made use for making marbles. And some rocks are so soft, it is made use for making talcum powder and so on. Then the color of soil also varies from place to place. You might have observed as the mountains are cut, the color of the soil is not same. On top of the soil, which is fertile, we know it is dark in color. Then below that there will be red soil, some places yellow soil, some places white soil and so on. So soil also has got a variety in different colors are there. And it is all, the color is different because the soil is formed by the powdering of the rocks. So if the yellow rock gets powdered, then that soil will be yellowish. If the red stone is getting powdered, then that soil will be red in color. That is why different types of soils are there. It is all, the soil is mainly formed by breaking of the rocks. The rocks get broken and become powder and it will become soil. So the soil will take the color from the parental rock, from which rock the soil came, and the color will be taken by the color of that rock. Then have you ever thought about the causes of these variations? And most of these variations are caused due to differences in the rock formation. So there is a rocks are also formed, and based on that formation it also takes different type of features, different colors and so on. So India is a large landmass formed during different geological periods which has influenced her relief. So we said India is a very huge landmass. We said India has got the 7th position in the world. So that land is a very huge one which India is of which India is formed, and that has so much of that formed by different geological period. It is not formed within 1 or 2 years, but it took such a long years, thousands or millions of years have been taken to form this landmass. It's not just coming out within 1 day, but it took millions of years. Then, besides this geological formation, a number of processes such as weathering, erosion and deposition have created and modified the relief to its present form. So we said a lot of geological process has taken place, and apart from that there is also 3 other processes which is helping the formation of the rock. So one is weathering, second one is erosion, and third one is deposition. So weathering means something that has been exposed for a long time. You know, if a stone remains outside for a long time, then what happened? Slowly it began to break and it will get worn out. The rocks will get worn out. The rock that you have seen 10 years ago, it is not in the same shape now. Some small pieces might have come out, some cracks may be there. So all that is called weathering. The things that is getting worn out, the rock that is getting worn out because of exposing to the nature, exposing to the weather for a long time. So during the summer it may be very hot and the stone may slowly break, or there may be cracks and so on. Or in the winter again, it may, because of the too cold, the rocks may get worn out. And during the rainy season, there may be small cracks, and the water will go inside that small crack, and afterwards that water will remain there. And at night it may be very cold, and that water will turn into ice. Then that ice will become hard, and that crack may become a little more big. So all that is part of weathering. Then erosion, you know, soil erosion is a very familiar term for us. So erosion, the stone that is in the river and so is going on rolling. So in the water, as the water is flowing, the stone keeps on rolling. So that also makes the rock to get worn out. The rocks are getting deformed. It is getting powdered and so on. Then deposition. So the stone will start rolling, and at the end it will be deposited somewhere, and it will remain there, and it may, in the course of time, after many years, it may get worn out, it may get changed the shape, or it may get powder and so on. So remember, these are the 3 processes through which the earth has taken to the present relief forms. So through all these methods, the rock is getting powdered, and that becomes part of the soil of the earth. Then the earth scientists have attempted to explain the formation of physical features with the help of some theories. based on certain evidences. So the geologists, or geologist means the scientists who study about the earth, and they have come up with some explanation to tell us how the earth has reached the present form, like the mountains, the valleys, the plain, the deserts, all that. So how it has all been formed. So the scientists are giving us certain explanations, and based on the evidences, they are not just sleeping and one day they wake up and say, oh, these are the reasons for the present shape of the earth or features of the earth. Not so. They have made lot of studies. They are just studying and studying and studying and collecting all the evidences, and based on that one they study again and again, and that is how they have reached that conclusion. Let us see how are they planning to explain. How are they explaining about the present features of the earth? So they say one theory that they have proposed to explain about the physical features of the earth is theory of plate tectonics. Theory of plate tectonics. Theory of plate tectonics. That is the theory that they are explaining. Because of this theory, the earth has got these present features: the hills, mountains, the valleys, the plain, all that. Then, according to this theory, what are they saying? The crust of the earth. The crust means the upper part of the earth where we are living, the top part of the earth. That is called the crust. So, according to this theory, the crust of the earth has been formed out of 7 major and minor plates. So, they say this earth where we are staying, the top part of the earth is formed with certain plates. So, there are 7 types of plates are there. Some of them are major, some of them are minor. So, we can divide them into different categories. There are some of them are major type of plates. So this is called plate. It's not the plate which we use for eating food, but it is a shield, like we can say. So it will be like this. All the earth, the top part of the earth is like this. Different plates are there. So it will mean the gap is not so much. We will not be able to see. If you look down, you will not be able to find so much. But it is there. The gap is there. That is what the scientists are telling. So you can see in your figure 2.2. In your textbook, you can see the 2.2 about the features. So let us see. The movement of the plate results in the building up of stresses within the plates and the continental rocks above, leading to faulting and volcanic activity. So we said these plates are there, and what do? They keep on moving. They are not just remaining fixed. They keep on moving. So when they are moving, what happens? There's a great stress, great pressure is there. So it is not a small sheet, but it is so thick land, and when it is moving, it is creating so much of pressure there. So when the earth is moving, we can see the earthquake. When there is an earthquake, there is a small shaking for few seconds, and we can feel the whole earth is shaking. So much of power is there. So when this top part of the earth is moving, what happens? There is so much of pressure is there. And so, because of that pressure, what happens? There can be certain things taking place. There can be falling. So These plates may be folded because of the great pressure. It can be folded. Suppose if it is a plate, because of it is moving, it can be folded. Then it can be faulting. Faulting means broken. So because of too much shaking, it can be broken into small pieces. And sometimes it can be led to volcanic activity. It can turn into a volcanic activity. So that also is possible. So it is all because of the plates on the crust of the earth. The upper part of the earth is moving, and therefore sometimes it can be folded, sometimes it can be broken, and sometimes it can lead to volcanic activity. So broadly, these plate movements are classified into 3 types. So we said these plates are moving and creating great pressure under the earth. And what kind of movements are they doing, or how are they moving? We can say there are 3 types of movements are there. 3 types. So these plates are moving in a 3 types. You can see in your picture. The pictures are given there. The names are also given there. So one type of movement is called convergent movement. Convergent movement means this plate is moving this way and this one is moving this way. That means they come near, they come closer. So when they come closer, what can happen? You can see in the picture, one plate is going under the other one. No? Because they come together, dash each other, then there is no place more. So because of the force, because of the pressure, one is going under the other. So that is called convergent boundary. So that is one way of moving. Then another type of movement is called divergent movement. That is just the opposite. So instead of coming together, what do? They move away. So this one will be moving away this side, and this one will be moving away this side. So here the gap will increase. So this one is moving away this side, this one is moving away that side. So the gap will be there. So that is called divergent boundary. Then sometimes it can go up and down. So this again. So let's say this one will go upside and this one will go downside. So that is another type of movement. So one is going that side, another is coming this side. So it keeps on moving, and that is called transform boundary. So these are the 3 types of movement. One is both plates are coming close to each other. This one is moving away from nearby and it is moving away. Another one is moving in different directions. One is moving other side, another one is coming this side. So that is called transform boundary. So these are the 3 types of the movements. So this is called the theory of plate of tectonics. So according to this theory, there are 3 types of movement. Some move this way, facing each other. Some moving away from each other. Some are moving forward and backward. And remember these names. This will be what movement it is? Convergent. It is called convergent movement. This one means will be divergent movement. This one will be transform boundary. And in the event of 2 plates coming together, they may either collide and crumble, or one may slide under the other. So when these 2 plates are coming together, colliding each other, they may collide because that force is so high, they may get crumbled. They may become, the plates of this earth may crumble, may get broken, or they may go underneath. One can go underneath, another one go downside. So it all depends on the force, to what force they are moving. Then at times they may also horizontally pass each other. So that is horizontally passing each other. One may go that side, another may go this side. And form transform boundary. That is called transform boundary. This type of movement is called transform boundary. Then the movement of these plates have changed the position of and the size of the continents over millions of years. So this type of movement is going on under the earth, only that we are not aware about it. So for millions of years this have been moving this way or that way. So these plates of the earth have been moving, and because of that the physical features of the earth have come. Some places, if they come with great force and come together, sometime it will be folded. Some part may go up like this, so that may become a mountain. Or sometimes it is possible to bend this way, then it will become a valley. Or two are moving away, then in the middle part can be a valley, and so on. So some may be moving this way, that you can create another feature, and so on. So such movements are also influence the evolution of the present landform features relief of India. So that is what the scientists are explaining. So the present land features of India is because of all these different types of movements that the earth is doing, the plates of the earth are doing. So that is what the scientists are explaining, and they make a theory called theory of plate tectonics. So when we hear the name plate, we can understand it is talking about the different types of movement of the plates on the face of the earth, on the crust of the earth. So we shall wind up for today, and we will come back again in the next class, and we will try to explain more about this type of movement, and to see in detail about the land mass of India. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.